Namaskaram. I'm Dr. Nisha from Career Guidance and Adolescent Counseling Cell, Alapura. Today, we are looking across our borders to the majestic Himalayas. Usually, when we think of Nepal, we think of ancient temples and trekking trails. But on March 5, 2026, Nepal made history in a way that had nothing to do with mountains and everything to do with its people. Imagine a country where old guard political giants who have ruled for decades were suddenly unseated by a party that barely existed a few years ago. This is not a political change, it's a generational rule. Today, we dive into how the youth of Nepal just rewrote the nation's future. To understand the success, we need a little context. For centuries, Nepal was a Hindu monarchy, but the road to today was rocky. In 2001, the country was shaken by a royal massacre, and by 2008, the monarchy was abolished entirely, turning Nepal into a federal republic. Since then, the country has struggled with political instability, seeing many governments come and go. But throughout all this, the same traditional faces kept returning to power until now. Today's article is a brilliant analysis by two experts, Dr. Amitabh Mathur, a dean and professor at the School of International Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and Dr. Sangeeta Tapliel, a professor at JNU and a former ICCR professor chair in Kathmandu. They describe the victory by the Rashtriya Swatantra Party, RSP, as a watershed moment that had sidelined the Indian regime. The RSP is relatively new and secured only 20 seats in 2022. But in 2026, they captured the imagination of the youth. Why? Because 52% of Nepal's voters are between the ages of 18 and 40. They were tired of corruption and nepotism. The star of the moment was Sri Balendra Balenshaw, the party's prime ministerial candidate. He was not a career politician. He was a structural engineer basically and a rap singer. His lyrics attracted many and with his lyrics, he attacked corruption and urban decay, making him the voice of a generation wary of cynical politics. Under his influence, the RSP fielded many candidates under the age of 40, promising a Baja Patra, or a promise focusing on clean governance and judicial reforms. This is important for India. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has already congratulated the new leadership, emphasizing that India remains a close friend and neighbor. The authors suggest that for this relationship to thrive, India needs to use quiet diplomacy, focusing on partnership in infrastructure and energy rather than visible political interference. What Nepal's story teaches us. Dear students, Nepal proves that your age is not a barrier to leadership. If you see a system that's broken, you have the power to organize and fix it. This is a lesson in disruptive innovation. The RSP didn't follow the old rules. They used new tools and direct communication to solve old problems. We must foster a sense of civic responsibility. The success of a democracy depends on an informed and engaged youth who believe they can make a difference. Personally, as someone who works with students every day in Alapura, this article filled me with hope. We often see young people feeling disconnected from the world around them, but Nepal shows us that when the youth decide to act, they don't just change a government, they change the very air a nation breathes. It's a reminder that we should never underestimate the power of a generation that has had enough of politics as usual. I'm Dr. Nisha Jacob from Career Guidance at the Rawlson Counseling Cell, Alapura. Let's lead with purpose. See you in the next